But what we're getting at here is Huiteananui, the whare with the talking po. It's the same whare that Hene Titama is sent in by Taane to find out who her father is. She's like hitting up Taane for a long time. Fuck, your atua. You come from Io. You come from Rangi and Papa. You must know. Like, you were involved in the crafting of this owl. You must know who my dad is. And every time that he was given that partai, he would disappear. Or, like, come up with some reason to not answer the question. But this time she gets staunch and she tells him, nah, you're telling me right now or I'm fucking out this shit. And he goes, go into Huiteananui and you'll find the answer. If she can read both sides of the wharenui at the same time, she becomes unconditional love. If she reads only one side, she kills herself. If she kills herself, every atua kills themselves. And we're just stuck in that loop forever. Until we can view both sides of the manifestation. And realize that you're manifesting both sides. And now realize that your puku is at the middle of all this. And a lot of people are not going to be ready to hear this shit. Hence, I'm making a movie with some laughter and shit. Try and like lighten it up a little bit. Shine some darkness on it. Decrease the weights. But when we are living a parasitic life, the protozoa inside us turn parasitic. And we call a higher being to be parasitic also. Something that sees itself as higher in the food chain than we are. For lambing, I got our old rules and regulations from the Vatican. Fuck, was easy on DuckDuckGo. Vatican manuscripts of the procedure of lambing and how they would take the mother and the father sheep before 6 weeks be castrated, and the females have all the skin cut off around the anus and vagina to prevent myiasis, which is a type of fly or parasite. Fucking some bullshit. But yeah, while they're still living with their parents, they have to. So these are like rules and regulations for anyone of the farmers in England and America who become employees of the Vatican, of the church. They had to adhere by these rules, these procedures. And if they did, their families would be looked after. Their food would be covered. They would have freehold land, but they had to keep up with the production. If they couldn't make the... Like, this is in an old fucking writing, bro, within the Vatican Library. If the parents didn't mate within that 1 month, they would have to artificially do it. They would have to force it. They would have to rape the dad, like jerk it off, and then they would have to inseminate the mum. And then within 6 weeks age, they would fucking chop the testicles off, chop the tails off, chop off around the vagina and around the ass to stop the saggy skin from around there so this fly doesn't live there. Within 3 to 4 months, they have to remove it from the mum's, so wean it away from the mum's fucking milk teat, but still be within eye's view. So it's just in the next paddock, they can see the fucking their baby. And then within 6 months, slaughter it. And then that's the fucking food. And they put it out there everywhere. Like there was the fucking flashiest type of fucking food that there is. They promoted it in every fucking newspaper, every fucking way. And those same churches were the pedophilia ring. When you like look back at all the reminiscences of fucking any type of pedophilia that fucking existed back then, and even now with the fucking priests and shit, or not in my reality because I'm not fucking feeding that shit no more. I'm not calling that into my reality anymore. But when you look at Huiteananui, it's exactly the same. That's what that's happening. That's how parasites live. They're doing exactly the same thing. The parasite, which is like they'd create a biofilm, they would go. Different species of protozoa would take each other hostage. The bigger one, they see themselves as the higher in the food chain. So they would enslave some other ones in the biofilm, which is just a farm. They would get the mum and the dad to fucking mate. And then any other creatures, like if a virus, but there's just other types of protozoa, would come up and eat those eggs, which are not the main parasite they were talking about, eggs. It's the next one down. Anyone who comes and eats these eggs, the main parasite will go and get their eggs or their children. And that's how the fucking parasites live. They got these biofilms. The main parasite will enslave some other, we'll call them viruses just to make this story easy to absorb. The main parasites will go and grab a virus and then they would enslave them. They would wait for them to produce babies. And then any other parasites that come and eat those babies, or some other viruses or bacteria come and eat these babies, the parasites go to their house and grab their babies. The main parasite, they see themselves as higher in the food chain. You get what I'm saying? Huiteananui, we're manifesting the shit in the middle from our puku. Waste of time trying to kill the parasites if you're living like a parasite. Waste of time voting for a certain government if you're giving your money to the chemical companies. Like the dollar, what you put in your shopping trolley. That's the main vote. And then you look at who owns Fonterra, Monsanto and Bayer. Who's the main funder for our government? Fonterra. It's like, te tuatea. Beyond space and time, Papatuanuku, your actual body. Rangi Nui, your actual mind. The more you love what you put into your body, the earth just heals straight away. Because as you're loving and becoming conscious and knowing what you're putting into your body. Yeah, Manuruhi, after grabbing Te Tohu a Tangaroa of his father, didn't wait for his father's go-ahead. They hadn't done the proper karakia. Rua Te Pupuke hadn't seen his son in a day or so he goes looking for his son. Couldn't find him, but then he thinks, fuck, he must have taken it. He must have taken the hook. So he goes to where they usually fish, and there's just a whole gang, like a whole mountain of ika, and heaps of baby ika too. So he swims out to where their spot is, and he swims down, and he finds Huiteananui, this whare underneath, and it's in a biofilm, so it's like how you would imagine Atlantis type of shit in a bubble. So he swims into it, and he sees his son fixed as the teko teko, and the po are talking to each other.